some new kind of like factions to begin to challenge if the coalition have succeeded in having a safe place to challenge, to group and mobilize, to challenge Tinubu. We are still talking about the coalition here. And with what they did today, reactions, like I said, have been pouring in. But the question of whether Peter Obi will be part of their coalition or not, I think that question has now been answered. Peter Obi will be joining their coalition. Some will say, oh, that he attended doesn't mean that he's going to join. Well, you will be right too. But I mean, the question of if he's been part of their coalition talk or not, and with what they did today, right, it is now kind of like answered. So if he wakes up tomorrow and decided that, okay, you know what? No, I'm not going. I'm not going to join the coalition, even though we attended the unveiling of because joining the coalition right now, at this point, it's not going to be called coalition. They will be called ADC. Everybody will have to join ADC in order for them to now kind of prepare. So in this case, it won't be like the 2023 to start with. Peter Obi is not just the only person who is going to be part of any coalition now. He is now bringing something to the table. And as it stands so far, he seemed to be the one with, elected officials with him. Anyway, like I said, reactions have been pouring in already. Dumebika Chiku, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but Dumebi, the presidential candidate of the ADC in 2023, he has already called a press conference. He is already on TV rejecting this takeover also. And according to him, there are other executive members of ADC. So if you have any projection that some people may rise up and say they are, you get what I mean now? Well, you may be right. But again, this is also the very beginning. But as it is the very beginning, we should also capture the reactions that has followed so far. Let's start with Bolaji Abdullahi. I think the guy who is kind of being projected to be their spokesperson, right, in the coming days, after the announcement of David Mark, as well as Aregbesola Baba Kabiru. All right? But hang on, I haven't shown you where they actually crowned David Mark and others, right? Have I? Let's take that. Still in the hall.
I want to beg every one of us. Make everybody put in mind together to make sure that ADC is capable of 2027. What is that? Now meet your black people all the way from Bayelsa State. When I came in from Dubai yesterday, I said, let me come to the occasion today. Because of the love I have for the new party and the new coalition. That's all. And what we are going now is listen to me, as we will sing this song. APC come out for road, ADC don't come. You know get the APC don't come. APC come out for road, ADC don't come. We don't have the APC don't come. Can we say bye-bye to APC? Bye-bye to APC. Bye-bye to APC. Thank you very much. To recognize my brother and friend, Senator Balak, my brother from Katsina State, you are welcome. I also want to quickly recognize the former Speaker Pro Tempore of the House of Reps, Dr. Segun Segba, Honorable Senator. We have also. I think it seems that everybody here should go down. Please, from you, everybody, please. It doesn't matter. Everybody, please. Let's go down here, please. Please, all the security officers on the stage, please excuse us. Police, Navy, Army, Air Force, and everybody down. No security, please, on the stage. Please, all security men. My brother, you will move. Officer, you will move, please. Please. Can we move, please? And what we're watching now is ADC, come on, ADC, come on. We don't got to let go. ADC, come on. Can we say bye to ADC? Thank you very much. To recognize my brother and friend, Senator.
So that part. Alex Sotti happened to be one of those who have also reacted. But we'll be taking these reactions one after the other. But the first, let's have a throwback of the secretary of this ADC, the acting or interim secretary. Aregbesola Baba Kabiru, a few years back, not too long ago.
Tí tí bá sọ fún tó ti bí mi tí wọ́n á fi wá lọ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀wọ̀n náà báyìí Ìkàrẹ́ ló ti bí mi. Ìkàrẹ́ àkókò. Ìkàrẹ́ àkókò. Ìkàrẹ́ sọ̀sọ̀gbọ̀ nígbà tó ń bí mi ní wákàtí márùn-ún. Ibẹ̀ ni ilẹ̀ Yorùbá parí sí ní Western region lọ́nà òkè Ọ̀yà náà. Ibẹ̀ ló parí sí. Lẹ́yìn àkókò Kogi ló kọ́ Kogi sì ló kọ́ ṣùgbọ́n lọ́dà àdìbò ló kọ́ ńgbà tó ń bí. Lọ́dà àdìbò ló kọ́ ńgbà tó ń bí. Wọ́n bá sọ pé ọmọ tó ń bí mi fún àtọ́ bí mi kò sọ síjù. Èyí kọ́ ni màá sọ fún mi. Lọ́dà ń gbẹ́jà wọn gbàlá yìí ní sí ẹ̀ lọ́ máa gbọ́ lọ́dọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ fún mẹ́ kò sọ síjù.
Anyway, you know what? Let me save you the stress. So the rest is just where he praised Kolu for picking him up, cleaning him up, and at the same time making him somebody. Well, that video was uploaded by Ronuku just to kind of make themselves feel good that they have a mole in their coalition. How far that goes, we don't know yet. But there is another person. This time he is speaking for PDP to berate the coalition and ADC talk. I'm still coming to the one who is currently probably going to sue them to court, so to say. But yeah, it's the beginning. But listen to this.
3 factors on the table: the coalition, Peter Mbah's possible defection, and Peter Obi's relevance in the Southeast. Beginning with the coalition. You cannot have a coalition of people who are not only disgruntled, but all of them have had very disturbing relationships with each other in the past, have ideological differences, and they are also nearly all of them angling for the position, who will step down for the other. Secondly, all this talk about coalition we are talking about, apart from Abuja, Lagos, and maybe press releases, what efforts are being made at the levels below the national, even the periphery of the national, to create some kind of understanding, some kind of building backwards that, look, let's go to our party members in the state and tell them it's in our interest to do this. They want to form a coalition at the top and with it rule Nigeria. So that is problem number one. Problem number two, look at the relationship between nearly all of them. Remember that Rufai has the challenge of the Muslim ticket. Then Babachir is a diehard Christian. Many people think that Atiku Abubakar should step down. Rotimi Amechi is on the table, and some of us are not entirely sure what he's bringing to that table. David Mark is there also, 3-time Senate president with a lot of clout, among other things. Picture a room where all of them are sitting together to form a government for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. How will the conversation go? What are the policy issues they will bring up? They are likely to discuss positions. Who will be vice president, who will be... It's not about development, even though the intention on the table, on the pretext, is development. The concern is to remove the APC government. Supposing, for instance, in doing this, they are telling us this is what we want to put on the table once we get rid of the APC. You see, there will be a basis for conversation. But to sound very angry, to tell us that all of us are suffering, we know that, including those who are telling us that we are suffering. What do you intend to do about it? What are the alternative policies? What strategies are in place? The parties in which you are today, are they doing well? Is there internal democracy in those parties? The states where your party is governing today, are they doing well? Are the governors exceptional? When you consider all of these, then that's why I look at the whole coalition talk with a lot of pessimism. For simple reason that whereas it will be wonderful for them to displace the APC and replace the APC by some or whatever name they choose to call the party, the question I ask myself is, are they really preparing to do that? There's a difference between engagement and strategic engagement. You want to deal with the rain and a leaking roof, and you bring only buckets. You're not thinking of replacing the roof. They are not being strategic, and the profile of the individuals involved presents a double-barrel negative challenge for all of them. So that's at the level of at the matter of the coalition. They may pull it off, but I really need to see what they'll do that will be so strategic as to displace a man who put all of them on the table, gave each of them 24 strokes of the cane, despite everything put in place for him, and became president. Now that he's president, he will also now probably be in the balcony drinking, and then you will replace him. They should prepare for a fight if they are serious, and I don't see them being sufficiently strategic to do that. But the effect of what I'm saying is that it should then probably annoy them into designing a fantastic strategy for displacing the APC. But as it is now, I don't see that strategy. Peter Mbah's defection is a possibility. I don't know him, I don't know about him. Is it possible to defect? Yes. Could that make people say, oh, this man is not reliable? Yes, they can say that. But I will also ask, is conversion possible? Ideological conversion possible? Yes. Do defections occur in political parties? Yes. Do some of us like it? No. Does it remove the fact that somebody can do it? It doesn't. If you don't want him to defect, give him reasons not to defect. If somebody is going to defect from your party, why is he doing so? What's the problem with your party? Why is he moving? If you can't prevent him, first of all, admit your own shortcomings that are making people vacate your own address. The third point was the P2B factor. Yes, P2B is very popular in the Southeast, not only in the Southeast, but all over the Federation. The obedient movement is strong and powerful and even growing stronger, but as I keep telling the movement, or whatever it is called, there are no polling booths on the internet. There's no polling booth on Facebook or Instagram. Polling booths are in specific local locations, and they have to be manned by party agents. That's fact number one. Fact number two, is the Labour Party or the Obedience or both of them together, are they building any kind of cohesion such that there's a progressive development of ideological purity, group cohesion, meetings and encounters, leading to the development of structures at the ground level? I'm not seeing it. Finally, on the P2B factor or matter, Obedience have argued convincingly and correctly that, look, we've proven a lot of people wrong. They say that without structure, you cannot win elections in Nigeria. But without structures, see all the votes we got in Lagos, see all the votes we got in all over the country. Fantastic. But I ask you this. There's an Igbo saying that the person who uses a mouse trap sets a mouse trap in order to catch a chimpanzee. The trap will actually catch the chimpanzee. But you know the problem? The hunter will neither come home with his trap nor the meat of a chimpanzee. You got all the votes, no question about that. You won Lagos, I believe you. Did those votes come into your pocket? No. Why? If you know the answer to that question, are you doing anything about it? So it's okay to announce that Peter was... Oh, look, they are just wasting the time they need to prepare for the next election in speech making, in self-adulation, and in what you might call conversations that are not going further down. They are wasting the potential and possibilities of that movement. And also, I'd like to comment briefly, if you recall in the last election, look, Labour Party is correct in saying we know they give shishi. But I'll ask that party to make a distinction between mandatory expenses and discretionary expenses. If you send me to go to the market and buy you groundnut, and give me the money for the groundnut, but no money for transport, you say, oh, I'm a volunteer, I love you. I love you, but I may get tired on the way. And the danger is that your enemy may give me a ride, and I'll say, wait, why am I even suffering all of this? They have to recalibrate the conception of I know they give shishi to mean we will not bribe or spend money to subvert the process, but we'll deal with necessary costs for those who will work for us. I've had to run a program. You know, the program was a youth program, and it was even in his state. The youth, we had so many volunteers. I said on the budget, the ushers are going to be paid 5,000 per day. Somebody pointed out that, you know, they are volunteers. I said, fantastic. All of us can pay our bills. These are young boys and girls with no real means of income. What will it cost us? Let them know the value. The reason is that when you pay them for the cost of moving around, you'll be able to separate those who are greedy from those who want to work. But when you force everybody to pretend to be nice, oh, I don't eat. Meanwhile, he's carrying a spoon in his pocket, watching out for any stray plate that nobody is watching so that he grab a few grains. That is the part of the problem of that party, and that group, and that movement. It is good to be organized. It is even now, there's no narrative anymore. That conversation must migrate the personality of P2B out of conversation into the ideals that a government run by him will represent. That's number one. Number two, they must develop legs on the ground. Number three, and most critically, they must structure their funding clearly and tie it to specific things that enable parties to develop. It's not whenever there's anything to be done, you begin to find out, oh, this person will have to buy the ticket for him, so remove him from the list of those who are traveling. As long as they go on